The Shanghai Sharks is a CBA team based in Shanghai, and many people jokingly treat it as a landing spot for players who are underperforming in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second ever episode of the Strictly Bball podcast. I'm Joe alongside my co-host Nolan. Nolan, how are we feeling today? I'm feeling pretty good. I've been overwhelmed a little bit given how it's the second week of school, senior year, so we're getting settled in. But I am very excited to be here. Can't wait to tell this story. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I haven't started school yet, but nothing's better to take your mind off first couple weeks of school. Talking a little basketball. I'm sure you got something good for us today.
Today, I have a banger concept. We're going to be talking about the Shanghai Sharks. The Shanghai Sharks is a CBA team based in Shanghai, and many people jokingly treat it as a landing spot for players who are underperforming in the NBA. Joe, Shanghai Sharks, what's the first player that comes to mind?
Are you talking about the actual team or?
I'm talking about the actual team. I'm talking about the actual team. We're talking about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the actual Shanghai Sharks.
Okay. So not Ben Simmons. Go ahead.
Not Ben. That's the one that came to mind for you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. So Joe kind of drew me into it, but we're going to be talking about the starting five for the Shanghai Sharks, the actual starting five for the team. It's a very talented team. They play professionally. They're a team based in the CBA. They're very talented. Okay, so starting at the point guard, we got Ben Simmons. I'm joking. No, I'm totally joking. Okay.
That's what I thought you were going to do.
No. Yeah, we're not doing that. The starting point guard is actually college legend Jimmer Fredette.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmer Fredette is the starting point guard for the Shanghai Sharks.
Chinese basketball legend.
Yep. He averaged 20. Well, we'll start a little bit earlier before his professional career. He actually averaged 29 points per game his senior year at BYU. That's absolutely insane. And that led him to be the 10th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Sadly, it didn't work out for him in the NBA, which led him to finding some great success.
Great success.
This past season, he averaged 27, 6, and 6 for the Sharks.
Yeah, to my knowledge, he dropped a couple 70-point games too.
Yep,
right?
I was going to get into that. He has developed into one of the best scorers the CBA has ever seen. He's the only player in CBA history to have multiple 70-point games. There's been, I think there's been less than 10 players who have dropped 70 points, but he's the only player to do it on multiple occasions.
So he's like the Wilt of that league.
You could say Jimmer Fredette is the Wilt of the CBA.
Got it.
Yep. And he's not even he is one of the best players in the CBA, but there's actually a lot of.
I think it's definitely a high scoring league too. Like a lot of guys are dropping. I saw like Marcus Georges Hunt, who was like a very short stint in the NBA, drop like a 68-point game. But anyways, that's
the starting point guard, Jimmer Fredette, ladies and gentlemen. The starting shooting guard, I don't know if you heard him or not, Marcus Denman. Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
Okay, Denman is a former Missouri guard who had a successful 4-year college career. He averaged 18 points per game in his senior season. Very solid in college, very solid. He ended up being drafted in the second round by the San Antonio Spurs, but sadly, he didn't really get playing time.
Do you know what year? I don't even remember. Do you know what year he got drafted?
It was in the mid-10s. It was like 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there, mid-10s.
Okay.
He was drafted by the Spurs, got no playing time as a rookie, and he decided to take his talents overseas. He's a starting shooting guard, and this is his seventh season playing professionally. So that actually was probably like 2013?
Yeah.
It must have been when he was drafted or was in.
He was right out of it, he just didn't make it in the NBA at all, probably.
Yeah, he just didn't get any playing time as a rookie.
Got you.
Yep. And then he actually is averaging, or this past season, he averaged 18 points per game for the Sharks. Very solid.
Would you say he's like their number 2 guy?
I would say he's their number 2 guy. He's the second leading scorer on their team. But I'm actually getting into a very interesting player, Howen Guo, who starts at the 3. I don't remember exactly what he averaged. I think it was like 11 points per game, but he's more so a younger player. He's a 6'7", 21-year-old player who most likely will be in the NBA. He actually was in the draft combine, but he withdrew because he wanted more time to develop.
Interesting.
Yeah, he kind of got like the feel of what it's like being around better talent, I guess. And he thought he wasn't ready and he wanted to develop a little bit more. So he withdrew from the draft and he's going to be playing, I believe, for the Sharks again, but he's still going to be playing professionally, just not in the NBA. But interestingly enough, this is according to NBA G League. I couldn't find any other source backing this, but NBA G League, they put out a tweet. He went pro. I'm going to have you guess. Okay. He went pro at the age of what?
I mean, international players, it's a lot different than the U.S.
Of course.
Rubio, what, 14, 15 years old? I'm going to guess 15.
He went pro at the age of 12. He went pro at the. I kid you not.
What do you mean by pro? What like?
That's
you know the
tweets.
league or?
I have no idea.
Just that's
I
it.
literally.
That's the tweet.
Yeah, that was the tweet. It just said he went pro. I wish
12 years.
He went pro.
Years old.
Yes, he went pro at the age of 12 years old.
What were we doing at 12?
We were making vines.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
Look at all those chickens.
We were making vines, doing trick shot videos in our backyard. That's what we were doing.
Trick shots.
Trick shots were huge.
Dude, perfect.
How and Guo, what was he doing at 12?
Playing pro ball.
He's playing pro ball. So,
that's interesting. He's 21 years old. What did you say he was averaging? Did you have that on there?
I didn't. I don't know exactly what he was averaging.
But starting for the Shanghai Sharks,
yep.
CBA, 21.
And he's 6'7", like he's a guard too.
Kind
like
of
he has guard skills.
Okay.
He does have guard skills. He can.
I will keep an eye out for him.
Yep. At the 4, and that's a starting small forward. At the 4, we have Dong Hanlon. He's had a long professional career, playing 13 seasons so far in the CBA.
He's the vet.
He is the vet. He's the vet of the team. He averages 8 and 7. He averaged 8 and 7 this past season for the Sharks. Solid numbers. He's a role player. He does his job.
Ever get an NBA shot?
No, it was just CBA. I think the only league he's ever played in professionally is the CBA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then to round off the starting 5, we have Zhang Zan. And he actually averages 14 and 6 for the Sharks.
They must put up a lot of points per game.
They do put up a lot of points per game, but interestingly enough, like how talented does this squad seem for like a professional team?
I mean, Jimmer, NBA talent, just below NBA talent.
Yep.
Obviously, the 21-year-old is young, but Marcus Denman was a great high major player.
Mm-hmm.
From what you're telling me, I think it's like I always feel like the CBA is like a little bit of a step down from the EuroLeague, which is a little bit step down from the NBA.
Yeah,
but I don't know. They're probably one of the better teams in the CBA, would be my guess.
Interestingly enough, they're one of the worst.
Really?
Yes, they're one of the worst. Their record is.
My question is, how did the Shanghai Sharks become the CBA team? Like everyone knows them as like. I mean, I could name the GuangDong Tigers,
which I was gonna get into that.
Okay,
yeah,
that's the only other team in the CBA I can name. But the Shanghai Sharks, just like
no, you're
actually, you know what I think it is. I think it's
Jeremy Lin played on the Shanghai Sharks. I'm pretty sure.
Did he?
I think he did. Whatever.
Whenever he left, but I was gonna say, you know the on TNT, where Charles Barkley does the who he play for. They put up a picture. You've never seen that?
I think I have.
It's like they put up a picture and Charles Barkley just never knows any of the players they put up.
I do know that.
Yeah, and they do it at the opening night of every year.
Yeah.
And one of them, they put up a dude. I forgot who it was, but then he was on the Shanghai Sharks. And Barkley had no idea, and then Shaq somehow guessed it. I think they might have been talking about Jimmer when he was first up there.
That would make sense, but yeah, maybe that's where
somehow the Sharks just became the team.
It just became a meme because whenever, like I mentioned, you hear Shanghai Sharks, for me, I just think about Ben Simmons. I think like an NBA player is underperforming, like, oh, they're headed to the Shanghai Sharks.
Yep.
But like, why is it the Shanghai Sharks? Like
it's got to just be like the most like recognizable team overseas.
Yeah.
Because of Jimmer. That's it. It's because of Jimmer, but also I know it was on who he played for. One of the years, a few years back, but
yeah, you mentioned it. The GuangDong,
I think.
GuangDong Southern Tigers. They're like the Lakers, Celtics of the CBA. They have 11 championships, and they won the title in the 2020-2021 season. And they finished with the record of 40. Did I say the record? The Sharks had a losing record of 22 and 30. Like I said, they're one of the worst, or they were one of the worst. And then the Tigers, the Southern Tigers, they finished with 46 and 6. That was their record. And their leading scorer was Marshawn Brooks. He's a former NBA player.
I remember him.
Marshawn Brooks.
A bucket.
He is a bucket. He averaged
for the Nets, I believe.
I think he played he may have at some point, but I think he played for the Grizzlies too.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he's averaging 27 points per game. Very solid.
Is he the MVP?
I don't even. I think it was different. I'm pretty sure how they do it is they do like, I don't even know how they do it. I don't know. But he's one of the best players in the league. I was like looking up the players that are averaging.
You said 46 and 6?
Yeah, that was the record, yeah.
Wow.
52 game season. Yeah. But yeah, surprisingly enough, with all that talent that I mentioned with their starting 5, they're not even one of the best. So there's a lot of talent in the CBA.
Maybe they're too good to be the meme team. Maybe it has to be the Sharks because they have a losing record.
That makes sense. That would make
I don't
sense.
know. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
think
going to the
anyone
Southern
thinks about
Tigers.
that.
Like that's
You can't go out the Southern Tigers.
you can't go at the Southern Tigers. Like they're elite. They're really good right now. So we mentioned Ben Simmons, but Joe, I gotta ask you, who is? We're back into the meme. We're back into the meme kind of mindset of this.
Okay.
Who is your all NBA Shanghai Sharks team?
Okay. This changes every year. It's pretty much who is getting hated on the most on NBA Twitter, I feel like. I'm going to go with mostly basing this off of the 2021 NBA playoffs.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's just who's getting the most hate right now, and I feel like that's who's usually on the team.
Yeah.
Because if like this team switches every year, even like every month, like who's getting the most hate on NBA Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago it would have been Danny Green. Who else would it have been? It would have been
Kyle Kuzma still.
Kuzma.
I mean,
Kuzma never leaves this team. He might be the most prominent player on the Shanghai Sharks team. But at the starting point guard, I'm going with Ben Simmons at the starting point guard.
He's got to be on the team.
He has to be on the team. Obviously, he had probably the most just brutal playoff letdown. The Sixers lost to the Hawks. Much of that you could say was because Ben Simmons shot mid-30s from the free throw line. Horrible. Took like 2 shots in the fourth quarter. They couldn't even play him at times in the fourth. Yeah, so Ben Simmons is definitely a starting point guard on this team. I think there has to be so much for him that's just mental with how he played in the playoffs. He's a great player. He's a former All-Star. He's an All-NBA player in the past. It's all mental for him, and I think a different situation like the Minnesota Timberwolves would fix a lot of that for him.
He's got past chemistry with D'Lo.
He does. Montverde Academy.
Yep, they play together. I feel like him and Towns would get along very well. I feel like that.
Ben Simmons did put Towns in a
pretty
headlock one time. I think that was during the Embiid Towns fight, but they're fine. They did that Foot Locker commercial together.
I know, that's what I'm thinking about. It, where D'Lo through the phone snitching or whatever. That's a trio. D'Lo, Towns, Ben Simmons. We're gonna see it pretty soon in Minnesota.
And Booker.
Hopefully.
And then Booker in a few years.
Yeah, Booker.
But yeah, Ben Simmons on the team. Horrible playoff performance. Shooting guard, Joe Harris.
Yeah.
You gotta agree with that one?
Yes.
Okay, Joe Harris.
I'm gonna have to agree.
I watched every Bucks game very intently,
I did not.
rooting for the Bucks. But Joe Harris he just didn't make any shots. I think every time he took a shot, I just held my breath because I was thinking like he's gonna hit one here, he's gonna get hot. He never did.
Which is surprising. I mean, he's like a 40% 3-point shooter.
You could say like coming into these playoffs, and I think you could still say it. He's maybe the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter in the league. He's up there top 5. He's a 3-point champion at the All-Star game.
Yeah,
I think multiple times. He's up there with Duncan Robinson, Steph Curry, Seth Curry,
Klay Thompson. Cannot forget about him. He's easy to forget about. I can't wait to see him back.
He hasn't played in so long.
Yeah. But anyways,
Joe Harris. I think I saw one stat, and you might have seen this, but so this one relates to Ben Simmons and Joe Harris. A little combination for our backcourt here. A stat that was, it took all of Ben Simmons' 3-pointers he's taken in his career and compared him to Joe Harris's playoff 3-pointers, and it was the exact same made and attempts. So I think it was like 3 for whatever, 21 or something. Maybe 3 for 15. I can't remember what it was, but it was just horrible.
That stat or graphic, whatever you saw alone, puts him on this team.
100%. Yeah, Joe Harris, and he's gonna be back. He's got the shooter's mentality. He doesn't care. He kept shooting in the playoffs. Yeah. Ben Simmons, a lot of mental stuff there, but
it's definitely different. I mean, Joe Harris he'll come back into the 2021, 2022 season shooting. Ben Simmons,
it's maybe if he's on the Wolves he will, but other than that, who knows? But Kyle Kuzma, small forward. Already thought about this one. Kyle Kuzma is a staple on the Shanghai Sharks meme team because I'll tell you why I think he doesn't deserve to be here necessarily, but why he will never leave. As long as actually he may leave now because he's out of the spotlight. He's on the Wizards, but
the big three in DC.
Yeah,
Bradley Beal, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyle Kuzma, they're running the East.
What a big three there.
What a big 3 right there.
But yeah, Kyle Kuzma on the Lakers, he got a lot of the spotlight, which is obviously good for him. But I think the reason he's always there is because he had a great rookie season.
Yeah,
he was on the all-rookie team. He had a lot of potential. He was an older rookie, but people didn't really think about that. And the Lakers pretty much chose Brandon Ingram, or they chose Kyle Kuzma over Brandon Ingram and Lonzo. So the expectations for Kuzma were like, so LeBron was there, and after rookie year with Kuzma, you bring in AD. It's like, all right, that's a big three. But you cannot expect Kyle Kuzma to be your big three. I think Kyle Kuzma belongs as the 8th guy on a good team. I'm serious. Like, I think he's a role player. He's a role player.
I just find it funny because just the expectations.
The expectations are like, and I mean, AD goes down, and the media is like, Kuzma needs to step in for AD. You cannot say that, and that's what puts him on the Shanghai Sharks team.
Yeah, part of it too, like you mentioned, he's going to DC. Like there's always going to be a lot of spotlight and attention on the Lakers.
Yep.
Now that he's not there, it's
yeah, there's always going to be that spotlight on the Lakers. But yeah, Kyle Kuzma, he's never going to live up to the hype.
No.
But now he's out of the spotlight. Maybe that brings him off the Shanghai Sharks team, but
not yet.
Power forward. Switching my power forward to Ben Simmons because I'm putting Schroeder at the 1.
Okay.
Schroeder with the 1.
Mr. fumbled the bag.
Yeah,
That's
tragic
tough.
story for him. Similar thing happened to Oladipo. That doesn't get talked about a lot, but
I'm not too familiar with that.
Oladipo turned down like a 4-year extension with the Pacers and then turned down a 2-year extension with the Rockets, and now he's on a minimum. But
Oladipo's on a minimum?
Yeah. I think he'll have a comeback year.
He's still on the Heat, right?
Back
There
to
wasn't
the Heat,
traded or anything. The Heat could be pretty solid.
Heat are going to be good.
Yeah,
there's some
good.
dogs in Miami, like
Yeah.
straight up and down the lineup. But
Yeah.
especially Duncan Robinson. No, I like Duncan Robinson, but
I do too.
You got Lowry and they brought in Marcus
You got
Morris.
Lowry.
But yeah, Schroeder fumbled the bag, belongs on the team. He had a horrible playoffs. I think he should just kind of fit back into that 6-man role with the Celtics and try to earn his way back. If he has a similar season that he did with the Thunder, he can earn his way back to that. Maybe get a 4-year deal, maybe get $60 million, regain some of those losses.
Maybe $100 million. Maybe
he's not a $100 million man.
No, he's not.
He's not. But
I know he's not.
6-man of the year type of guy. I think he should have won over Montrez in 2020. But he belongs on the Shanghai Sharks for now.
For now, he does.
And at the center position, it's Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah. The real playoff P.
Yeah, not Paul George. It's Kristaps Porzingis. People always want it to be Paul George.
Why can't I have the things that I want? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And he deserved it for a little bit of time. But even this year when he'd have like one bad game, which every star, like maybe not superstar, but every star has a bad game.
Yeah.
It's like playoff P is number 1 on trending. But he had a great playoffs. Great time when Kawhi was out.
Yeah, he
led
stepped
that
up.
team along with Terrence Mann.
Yeah.
Porzingis needs to step up. He needs to be that number 2 for he can be that
Poor
number 2.
Luka. He can be it.
In the bubble, they were a dynamic duo for a bit. You could really see both of them were dropping like 40-point games. He can be that number 2. Kuzma can't be that guy, but Porzingis can be. And if he's not, they gotta trade him. Luka saved the Mavericks by re-signing a max extension.
Yes.
And the Mavericks need to do everything in their power to give him that number 2 and number 3 guy now.
Yes.
But Porzingis, again, deserves to be on this team.
All right, I like it. So this is Joe's All-NBA Shanghai Sharks starting 5 at the 1. We got Dennis Schroeder at the 2. We got Joe Harris, 3, Kyle Kuzma, 4, Ben Simmons, and 5, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, I wanted to touch on Ben Simmons a little bit more. I have been seeing some footage surfacing on social media. Joe and I have talked about this before. Earlier than this is what I meant. About just footage being released of Ben Simmons making shots. Some of you have probably seen it. He was in the gym with Rondo.
He hasn't missed a 3-pointer all summer.
I haven't seen him miss a 3-pointer this whole summer. It's crazy. He's one of the best 3-point shooters I've ever seen.
We might just see the best
missed.
transition from we're going to see a Brook Lopez type just transformation of his game here.
Yep.
He's in Brook Lopez didn't hit any threes in the beginning of his year or his career. Now he's the Splash Mountain. People might be calling Ben Simmons Splash something pretty soon. Splash Mountain.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, with his percentages, with his percentages this summer, he hasn't missed.
No, how do you feel about like trainers and NBA players posting 1-on-0 highlights or just like
Yeah.
The other one
I
was,
know what you mean.
The other one was like Ben Simmons. He was like going through pick and rolls with like dudes that were like 5'10". And they were going through a pick and roll. Ben Simmons was the ball handler, and the dude set a screen. The guy goes over the screen on Ben Simmons like he's a shooting threat, and Ben Simmons just takes it in, just dunks it, and they post it on Instagram. Nobody's going over a screen on Ben Simmons. In fact, nobody even guards him anywhere near the 3-point line. they won't even be able to set a screen on him because nobody guards him out there.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about that?
I mean, open gym, knocking down open threes, that's not anything special. Like any player, any guy who plays basketball, any person that plays basketball can hit 3 threes straight. That's not that hard. Just a walk-up three, hit it 3 times, you film that, and that's a day. There's the workout. But I mean, I don't know. It's just we see this like every season. They just post these highlights, and it's just like, oh, Ben Simmons, he's knocking down shots. This is gonna translate well in the NBA.
Or it's
never happens.
Or it's like big men who are like going 1-on-0 and like they're showing like some ball handling.
Mitchell Robinson.
Yes, Mitchell Robinson.
Literally, he's looking like KD, but we know
like,
that's not gonna happen.
It's like, are we seeing point Mitchell Robinson this year? No, we are not. No, Bam Adebayo.
I was gonna say that
he looks
too.
ridiculous, but
yeah,
I mean, Bam actually has shown that in the NBA. Like he's
and Bam. That. I mean, Bam is really good too.
Yeah, but Mitchell Robinson's not gonna come out with like KD skill set.
Can you imagine if he just did?
He won't.
Well, we've seen
that was like 2 summers ago. I feel like Mitchell Robinson.
Maybe. We've seen like stuff with like JaVale McGee too. Like threes. Dwight Howard shooting
Dwight
threes.
Will not take a three,
it's like come on. If it's a player that doesn't typically shoot threes, and I see a video of them knocking down threes, open gym, wide open shots, anyone can do that. I'm sorry. Like that's it's not.
My question is, why is Dwight Howard even practicing that? He should be wasting his time. He's wasting his time doing that.
He is. Yeah, I think Ben Simmons definitely.
If Dwight Howard can you imagine in the playoffs? Dwight Howard's like, all right, I've been working on it all summer, and he just pulls up for a 3 like in the playoffs for the Lakers. That'd be so funny.
Oh yeah, he is back on the Lakers.
Yeah, they have 7 Hall of Famers on their team.
That's crazy.
They got Rondo. They're getting Rondo back. Dwight, Carmelo, LeBron, AD.
AD's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Russell Westbrook's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Is that 6?
That's 6.
Who are we missing? Maybe they have 6 Hall of Famers on their team or potential.
Ones. Wayne Ellington. Duh.
Yeah, Wayne Ellington.
No. That's funny.
But yeah, so that I just don't like that stuff. It's whatever. I don't want to say I dislike it, but just I don't like when people buy into it.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. Like I mean, I see stuff with like Zach LaVine doing like intense workouts. Like maybe he's not the one posting it. Like the trainer posts it, but people, I don't like how it could trick people, or people are like, oh, he's actually knocking down threes. This is gonna translate well into the NBA. He's gonna come into the season confident as ever, shooting threes. Like he doesn't have that mental barrier of I can't shoot.
Yeah,
he's still gonna have that.
Moral of the story is don't buy into summer workout videos.
Ever.
And,
literally ever. I've literally every summer workout video, it's like I'm not gonna buy into it.
No. Never.
People might hate on it too, but like even Hoodie Mello. Like that was
that was for real.
Well, that was he had his best season. That was when he was on the Thunder, right? Right?
Well, he was kind of like fizzling out of the league, and like that one is like the one.
Oh, I do remember that.
I take that
back because he was fizzling out of the league, and then he was out for a season, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was out for a season, and then he signed with Portland.
Because the Rockets didn't believe in him. They thought he was like
because he was traded from OKC.
The Rockets were like that he can't be like a secondary or like a 6-man role or come off the bench.
Yep.
And he was out of the league for a little bit, but obviously the Trailblazers took a chance on him. Now he's going. That's who it is.
What?
On the Lakers.
Who?
Carmelo.
Oh yeah. Wait, did we say that?
No, we don't think we said that.
I don't know.
That's the 7th guy. But yeah, now he keeps on playing. So that one makes sense.
That one does make sense. I take that back. But I mean, like
that's the only one I respect. But that's not the reason he got better. Is because he's posting videos on social media. And
I mean, he's always just been like that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Hoodie Mello just kind of turned into.
Other than Hoodie Mello, never buy into that.
Never. That's going to wrap up the 2nd episode of the Strictly Bball podcast.
Make sure you're following us on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Strictly Bball. And also make sure you subscribe, follow, and drop a comment or a review on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.